sometimes it takes just one person, standing in a square, on a graffiti-covered wall, or even in complete silence. One person rising up against an entire system. They have no power, no protection, and yet they don't step back. Why? What makes someone defy power? What's going on in the minds of protesters? Why do some people rise up without fear? Because there's something different happening in their brains. This isn't just political action, it's a stance, a philosophical position, and yes, it's also scientifically explainable. Van Stekelenburg and Clandermans suggest people act out of a sense of moral obligation. They don't protest for personal gain. They protest because it feels like the right thing to do. This idea echoes Kant's famous line, "The moral law is within us." A protester doesn't follow outer orders. They follow an inner compass. And Ted Gurr's theory of relative deprivation tells us rebellion isn't born from poverty alone. It grows from the feeling that you deserve better and you've been denied it. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, in The Social Contract, argues, people give up some of their freedoms for the common good, but only if the state protects the people's interests. Once that contract is broken, the individual sees resistance as a right. Most protesters have a strong sense of internal control. Bandura puts it like this: when people believe they have agency over their destiny, they act. Without that belief, the first step is never taken. So why do people stop being afraid? They don't reach into fire. They don't leap off cliffs. But in protest, they stand face to face with batons. They know they might be arrested. They know torture is a possibility. Still, they march. Jasper's theory of moral shock explains this shift. A single image, a child's death, a brutal scene, can shake someone to their core. And from that moment, they stop existing in silence and start shouting to be heard. Neurologically, the insula cortex is activated. Disgust, anger, moral outrage. The amygdala, it stops responding to fear and something else kicks in. Dopamine, the rush of risk and reward. Oxytocin, the warmth of solidarity and belonging. Alone, we're afraid. Together, courage becomes chemical. Sartre says, once a person realizes they are free, they also realize they are responsible. And responsibility requires courage. So, what about the state? If this process can be understood, why can't it be stopped? In theory, maybe. In practice and morality, never. Suppress dopamine? That takes psychotic drugs. Block oxytocin. You destroy the very fabric of human society. The United Nations bans this. The Nuremberg Code forbids it. Have governments tried anyway? Yes, they tried to suppress the mind with chemicals. America had a program, MK Ultra. They gave people LSD. The result? Chaos. In the Soviet Union, they gave dissidents haloperidol. Again, same ending. International scandal. And even worse, repression backfires. Studies show the harsher the state responds, the bigger the protest becomes. Like in 2013, Gezi Park. One attack didn't stop people. It brought out millions. Today, states use psychological tools. Disinformation, fake accounts, threats against families and jobs. But that inner spark, it's hard to kill. The protester is not just an activist. They are a witness to truth. They're the one who leaves Plato's cave. and then comes back to wake the others. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's walking forward despite it. And sometimes, one person starts walking. But that walk can change the course of history. As Victor Hugo said, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come.